The old world is gone. You have felt it shifting under your feet for weeks, manifesting as conversations that never happened, objects that moved on their own, and memories you hold with absolute clarity that the people around you now deny. You did not land on this message by accident. The disorientation you have been battling is not a mistake, nor is it a sign of a fracturing mind. It is a symptom of arrival. Everything you have been feeling this week, the vertigo, the confusion, the sudden estrangement from your own history, has been pointing to this exact moment of recognition. This message will decode the shift you have just survived, explain why your reality no longer matches your memory, and reveal what you are being prepared for now. We are here to dismantle the confusion surrounding these timeline shifts. First, we will validate the signs of reality migration that you have been experiencing in isolation. Then we will uncover the energetic laws that caused you to move, revealing why your internal growth forced an external change. We will reframe what you fear is memory loss as a necessary shedding of dead weight. And finally, we will establish the correct way to stabilize yourself in this new frequency, so you can stop reacting to the glitch and start commanding the path. It begins with the discrepancy. You know this feeling well, though you may have spent years trying to ignore it or rationalize it away. It is the moment you stand in your kitchen and reach for a tool that has always been in the second drawer, only to find it in the third, with your family insisting it has always been kept there. It is the argument with a partner or a friend where you reference a specific discussion, a specific promise made days ago, and they look at you with genuine blankness, swearing that conversation never took place. These are not simple lapses in communication. These are the hallmarks of the Personal Mandela Effect. For the chosen one, this phenomenon is not a curiosity. It is a daily confrontation with the fluid nature of reality. You are often told that you are misremembering, that you are stressed, or that you are simply wrong, but your gut tells you otherwise. Your somatic memory, the memory held in the body, confirms that the version of history you recall is real. It happened. You felt the emotions of that missing conversation. You saw the street sign with the different name. You remember the color of the building before it was painted, yet everyone claims it has been that way for decades. This is not gaslighting in the traditional sense, though it feels like the universe itself is playing tricks on you. It is the first clear signal that you have undergone a reality migration. You have not merely changed your mind, you have physically and energetically shifted into a different frequency bandwidth. When you move from one track of reality to another, there are subtle differences in the script. The major plot points may remain the same, your name, your job, your home, but the details shift. The scenery changes slightly to accommodate the new vibration you are holding.
These glitches are not errors, they are evidence. They are the ripples in the water showing that the boat has moved. When you experience this dissonance, where your internal record does not match the external playback, do not force yourself to agree with the current illusion. Do not internalize the doubt. Understand that you have walked through a doorway that others did not see. You have left a denser version of reality behind, and in this new space, the history is slightly different because the future is vastly more open. The confusion you feel is simply the lag time between your consciousness arriving and your logical mind catching up. You are looking for a map of the old territory, but you are standing on new ground. But recognizing the shift is only the first layer. To navigate this without fear, you must understand the mechanics of why you moved in the first place. Reality is not a fixed container. It is a fluid mirror. It does not exist independently of you. It exists as a response to you. This is the fundamental law of vibrational displacement. Most of the world operates under the illusion that the external world is solid and the internal world must adapt to it. The chosen one knows, or is beginning to learn, that the internal frequency dictates the external arrangement. Consider the work you have been doing. You have been healing deep ancestral patterns. You have been releasing trauma that has been stored in your bloodline for generations. You have been raising your standards, refusing to engage in the old dramas, and seeking a higher truth. This work is not invisible. It changes the resonant frequency of your being. As you heal, you become lighter. You vibrate at a rate that no longer matches the dense, trauma-filled timeline you were born into. When your internal vibration rises significantly above the baseline of your current reality, a displacement must occur. You literally outgrow the version of Earth you were inhabiting. The law of resonance dictates that you cannot remain in a reality that contradicts your frequency. So a jump occurs. You are shifted, sometimes overnight, sometimes over the course of a turbulent week, into a parallel track that is compatible with your new level of consciousness. This is why the shift often happens after a period of intense inner work or a major realization. You broke a cycle within yourself, and the universe rearranged itself to match that breakthrough. The glitch is simply the adjustment period. The timeline where you remained a victim or where you stayed asleep still exists, but you are no longer powering it with your focus. You have migrated to a timeline where the potential for sovereignty is higher. The discrepancies in memory are the side effects of this travel. In the old timeline, that conversation did happen. In the old timeline, the object was in the second drawer. But in this new timeline, which is vibrating faster and holds different possibilities, those events were not necessary, or they unfolded differently. You are not crazy for remembering the old way. You are simply remembering a place you no longer live. You have brought your luggage into a new house, and you are surprised to find the furniture is arranged differently. It is not a haunting. It is a relocation.
If these signals are hitting your spirit, it is not by accident. This is the work done here. If you feel called to understand the full scope of this transition, stay with this transmission until the end. There is a deeper fear that often accompanies this shifting, one that must be addressed directly. It is the fear of the fog. Many chosen ones report a sensation of memory loss that feels different from simple forgetfulness. It feels like entire chunks of your past are being erased or covered in a thick white mist. You try to recall what you did last year or even last week, and it feels distant, like watching a movie of someone else's life. This often triggers panic. You wonder if your mind is failing. You wonder if this is the onset of a medical decline. It is not. This is timeline shedding. It is a protective mechanism of the highest order. When you jump to a higher timeline, the data from the old, defunct timeline becomes irrelevant. Your consciousness is efficient. It does not want to waste energy maintaining a detailed record of a reality that you have abandoned. Think of it as leaving a heavy coat at the door when you enter a warm room. You do not carry the coat with you. You leave it because it is no longer needed for the environment you are in. The fog is your spirit detaching from the heavy, dense memories of the past that would only serve to anchor you back to that lower vibration. The memories that are fading are often the ones tied to trauma, guilt, shame, or the old identity you have outgrown. You are not losing your mind. You are losing your chains. The intensity of the fog is directly proportional to the intensity of the shift. If you feel like you cannot remember who you were 5 years ago, it is because that version of you effectively no longer exists. The energetic cord has been cut. This shedding allows you to be fully present in the now. The old timeline required you to be hyper-vigilant, constantly scanning the past to predict the future. The new timeline requires presence. It asks you to create from this moment, not from the wounds of yesterday. The fog is clearing the slate. It is forcing you to stop looking back at the burning bridge and turn your eyes toward the open road.
Do not fight this process. Do not try to claw back the memories that are fading. Let them go. If they were essential for your mission, they would remain. If they are dissolving, it is because they are dead weight. Trust the erasure. It is making space for the new downloads, the new instructions, and the new capacities that are coming online. You are being emptied so that you may be filled with something far greater than your history.
Now that you understand the nature of the shift and the purpose of the shedding, you must learn how to anchor yourself in this new reality. Knowledge without application is merely philosophy. You need a strategy for conscious navigation when the ground feels unstable. The first practice is the refusal to argue. When you encounter a discrepancy, when reality contradicts your memory, do not engage in a battle for validation. Do not try to force those around you to admit you are right. They are reporting on their reality, and you are reporting on yours. Both are valid from their respective vantage points. Arguing only lowers your vibration and attempts to tether you back to the old timeline. Instead, adopt the stance of the silent observer. When someone says, "That never happened," simply note it. Say to yourself, "I have shifted." Use it as a confirmation point rather than a conflict point. Smile internally, knowing that the discrepancy is proof of your progress. You do not need them to agree with you to know where you have been. Your authority comes from within, not from consensus. The second practice is to trust the immediate intuition of the present moment. Because your past data is becoming less reliable or less relevant, you must rely on your real-time guidance system. In this new timeline, your intuition is upgraded. It is faster, sharper, and more direct. Do not look to your past experiences to decide what to do today. The rules have changed. Feel into the energy of the room right now. What is the signal telling you in this second? This is how you stabilize. You stop leaning on the crutch of history and start walking with the staff of presence. If you feel an urge to go left, even if you always used to go right. The old patterns belong to the old timeline. The new timeline demands new movements. The third practice is somatic grounding. Shifting realities is hard on the physical vessel. It can cause fatigue, dehydration, and a feeling of floating or unreality. You must manually lock your energy into this new grid. This means engaging with the physical world intentionally. Eat dense, nourishing foods. Walk on the earth with bare feet. Focus on the sensation of gravity. Tell your body, "We are here. This is safe. We have arrived." Your body is the anchor. It is the hardware that runs the software of your consciousness. If the hardware is ungrounded, the software will glitch. By taking care of the physical vessel, you speed up the integration process. You turn the terrifying sensation of floating into the powerful sensation of landing. This is not a passive waiting game. This is active integration. You are sewing your consciousness into the fabric of this new potential. The more you affirm this new reality through your actions and your calm acceptance, the more solid it becomes. The glitches will settle, the timeline will stabilize, and you will find yourself standing in a life that is more aligned, more peaceful, and more potent than the one you left behind. You are no longer the one being thrown around by these patterns. You are the one reading them and moving with them on purpose. The disorientation you felt was the price of admission to a higher level of play. You have paid it. Now you must own the seat you have taken. The Mandela effect in your personal life is not a sign of error. It is the mark of the timeline jumper. It signifies that you are not stagnant. It confirms that your prayers for change were heard and answered, not with a simple gift, but with a total relocation of your soul to a space where that change is possible. You are a traveler who has crossed a border. Do not look back at the old country and mourn the map you lost. Look at the terrain around you. It is fresh. It is malleable. It is waiting for your command. You have shed the skin of the victim and the history of the wounded. You are now operating in a bandwidth where your will has immediate power. The confusion is over. The diagnosis is complete. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, and the strangeness of your days is only proof of how far you have come. Stand tall in this new light. It was made for you. This transmission has provided the framework for understanding your shift. Now, the application is up to you. Watch your reality this week. Note the shifts. Do not fear the fog. And above all, keep moving forward. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.